change in dress code in 2018. And the second responsibility is that of the school charity. As you know, the school selects a charity every year to raise money for, and we host various events to support that goal. Telethon, Color Wars, and Charity Week are just a few examples of these yearly events. Unfortunately, this year we were unable to host Color Wars and Telethon, but I'm very proud to say that our Charity Week programming broke records for fundraising, and we were able to raise more than $12,000 for FISL. Now, before I invite the first candidate for Day Student Representative to speak, I want to stress that the ideal candidate is the one that you deem best for the job. Not necessarily the one that you know the best or the one that you constantly see around campus, but the candidate that you believe is competent, driven, and will work hard to ensure that your voice is heard. Thank you very much, and I will now hand it off to Hope Clark, a candidate for Day Student Representative.
I remember the first time I stepped on Suffield's campus. I was about 7 and my dad had taken me to what seemed to be the steepest hill I've ever seen. I was about to spend my day sledding on Bell Hill, feeling the rush and excitement of a new adventure. Now here, 8 years later, I'm able to feel that same rush every day, and I want to make sure that every one of you feels that rush when you're on campus. My name is Hope Clark, and I'm running to be your next Day Student Representative. I want to work on your behalf to make meaningful changes to Suffield. Being a day student at a boarding school is a unique and particular experience. As a rising junior, I know this experience well. I know the endless hours sat inside the flag-covered union. I know the tedious steps you take to get your notebooks from your locker. I know the time spent looking for something fun to do. I know you, I hear you, I am you. Being a day student at Suffield means that the union doubles as your second home. We all know at times the union can get boring. I'm committed to getting additional activities to use in the union during the day. I would want to create an area where students can borrow activities in the union. As your elected representative, I can make this happen. As your Day Student Representative, I envision opening up Memorial to give more options on where to go. Opening up multiple Memorial classrooms will give us and boarders a warm, fun place to be on those cold and endless winter nights. One room can show a movie, and the other gives you and your friends a place to hang out. Tell me what you want to do, and trust me, I will do everything I can to make it happen. In addition to the week-long charity week that we host, I envision fundraising throughout various social events, such as the food truck social. At this event, students would receive vouchers that would act as payment. In buying a voucher, you would be able to purchase food from the food trucks, and the proceeds would go to the Suffield Charity of the Year, thus helping fundraise more throughout the year alongside our annual events such as Charity Week and Telethon. Throwing small events such as an open mic night, painting night, and sports tournaments can give students functions that tap their interests or just a good way to occupy their time. In the hopes of providing activities that include more interests, I plan on collabing with clubs. For example, I would want to work to collaborate with the baking club and dining hall staff to put on a cupcake decorating activity, or house and part with the art department a painting night on the art terrace. In trying to grasp what activities we as a community want, I would try and connect with you all through Microsoft Forms or different poll tactics so that you all can have a voice in the activities I advocate for. With me as your Day Student Representative, I will advocate for more school dances and better weekend activities that we will actually want. I would want to throw dances of different themes, and some of my ideas are, but are not limited to, luau, 1920s, Hollywood, and masquerade dances. I believe that dances and throwing events give a way to unite not only day students and boarders in the community as a whole. As your Day Student Representative, I will listen to what is important and work with administration and fellow student council members to meet those needs. If elected to be your Day Student Representative, I will be your voice, listen to you, and work for you. Thank you.
Hi Suffield, my name is Ben Reiner, and I am running to be your next day student representative. I stand here today on my 17th birthday because I have some ideas to improve our school for both day students and boarders. My first idea is to extend the featured weekend activities for the enjoyment and ease of all students. For example, an activity such as open court should be held from 7 to 11 instead of 8 to 10. This expanded time frame would encourage more day students who attend these activities and also encourage boarders to be there for longer. Simple changes such as the open fieldhouse example will bring more day students to these Saturday night activities. My second idea is to enhance our Sunday trips. Before COVID-19, Suffield offered trips to places like the center of Enfield, Blueback Square in West Hartford, West Farms Mall, and I believe that these trips should be restored and also enhanced. For example, how cool would a trip to Boston or New York be? Another idea that I have is to have buildings such as the Student Union or Tisch Fieldhouse open later, maybe 8:30 or 9 o'clock, to ease day student pickups. I've noticed a lot of day students that have to wait outside of these buildings at the late hours of the night, and I feel like keeping these buildings open longer would ease the general day student experience. Additionally, I am working closely with Mr. Lynch to install an online option for detention. An online option would be convenient for day students to reduce their commute time to detentions, and it could also be implemented for boarding students as well. My final idea is to open the Tisch Fieldhouse parking lot to day students. I have noticed that this lot is very convenient to the athletic fields, some of the academic buildings, the dorms, and other buildings on campus. And the lot is usually vacant. We can use the Tisch Fieldhouse parking lot for day students in the future and not have parking violations for students who choose to park there. Finally, as your prospective day student representative, I believe that the path towards a greater Suffield starts with giving day students a voice, but also adding to the boarding student experience as well. Since I've been at Suffield for 3 years, I believe that my experience can be utilized within the student council to find new ways to improve our school. Hopefully, every member of the Suffield community out there wants our student council to be successful and run for all students. The truth is, we have our own personal successes, whether it be in athletics, academics, or the arts. What makes Suffield the elite institution that we can sometimes take for granted is that the academy brings together a mix of these talents to transform all of these individual successes into one large group achievement where the student council can supplement those achievements. There is always room for improvement, and I invite members of the community who are not in the student council to help assist the student council in finding new ways to improve our school. I hope that you can elect Ben Reiner as your next day student representative, and thank you for watching my speech.
Hi, I'm Frank Roberts and I'm running for day student representatives, and I have some great ideas that could help make next year better than this year was. The biggest complaint I hear whenever there are any late night activities is that not everyone can attend due to the time they're at. And I would like to say that I guarantee that everyone would be able to go to all of them and have fun with their friends, but I can't do that. No one can make that promise. What I can do for you is take an active role in planning and preparing the dances and other events so that they're at a more convenient time for everyone. All the other ideas that everyone has, I can take up to the student council on their behalf as a mediator for you. My main idea I want to do is bring to campus custom parking spots. where each person will be assigned their own parking spot and be able to paint and customize it. To decide who gets what spot, we'll have an auction, which has the potential to raise a lot of money. The money raised will go towards paint and other supplies to customize the parking spots, and the rest of the money will go to the senior class fund for prom. I think this could bring some additional color to campus and create a spot that each student would be proud to call their own. For the boarders who are watching, just know that a vote for me will raise money while requiring nothing from you. And for everyone, a vote for me will lead to a brighter next year. Remember to vote Frank Roberts for Day Student Representative.
Hi Sophia, I'm Laura Negan and I want to be your boarding rep for the 2021-2022 school year. Next year will be my third year at Suffield and is already a place I call home. We all know this past year has been a major challenge, but we can move forward and I will help lead us to a fun and productive school year full of activities and ideas you all want. I have been living away from home at school for 3 years now, and I've been to two different schools, so I know a lot about the boarding experience. One thing we could look into is improving dorm life by being able to have all our friends in the dorm or at least in the common room. We could also set up dorm food pantries that will allow our dorm to feel a little bit like home. I know sometimes it gets tiring being at school all the time and it feels like the weekdays are on repeat. Therefore, I think it would be a great idea for the students on campus to have more say in weekend activities. To do this, we should strengthen the current committee designed to plan events so that more people are involved and have a greater say. Some activities we can do on campus are dodgeball or lockdowns in Tisch where we all spend the night, and off-campus trips like Six Flags, local theater performances, or sports games. We can also talk about possibly doing on-campus events during the week when sometimes you just need a break from schoolwork and want somewhere to hang out with your friends. With COVID, it is no doubt that some students have felt disconnected from their peers and classmates, especially the students online who are not physically able to be here with us and cannot partake on on-campus events. Moving forward, some ideas I have to fix this is more school dances, such as neon dance or throwback dance. We can also do dorm wars, when each dorm competes against each other in a bunch of activities similar to Tiger Games. Another great idea that everyone could enjoy is a school-wide game of assassins, where you assign certain people you have to eliminate from the game to be the last one standing. I think it is important that we come together as a community to make Suffield an even better and more enjoyable place than it already is with activities and events like these. Although I can easily stand up here and throw out so many ideas at you all, it is important to me that you all have a say and can make it happen. And we can make it happen. I know if I am elected as boarding rep, I will work as hard as I can for us to have a great year. So now it's up to you, Sophia, to vote and help me pursue that. And in the wise words of the man himself, Zac Efron, from Disney's High School Musical 1, 2, and 3, we are all in this together. Thank you.
Exactly 1 week ago from today, I cried a lot. I hadn't finished a big assignment in time, and I was worried about the disappointed face of my teacher and the possible decline in my grades. So I cried a lot. But then a series of events happened. As I sobbed to Mr. Odyssey, he consoled me with reassuring words. When I cried in ceramics class, Mrs. C gave me the warmest hug in the warmest place ever, the kiln. When I cried on my way into memorial, Mrs. Crosman ushered me into her office and gave me chocolate. When I teared up talking to my beautiful advisor, Mrs. Diolio, she reminded me of how awesome I am and bought me food a couple of days later. Then I had Miss Cook, Mr. Newland, and my friends who all comforted me as well. And guess what happened? I cried some more. But it wasn't tears of anxiety and sadness anymore. No, now the tears were a result of the overwhelming amount of care and love I was receiving. I hope you all understand that the reason I go on about crying is so I can emphasize my esteem for Suffield community. Even on my worst days, Friday being one of them, I can rely on someone to make me feel loved and protected. So I, Sharon Chidinma Esiam, I'm running for board representative, but not to fix a broken institution. Suffield doesn't need to be fixed. Instead, I want to enrich the facilities and community bonds that we already have. The bonds I have formed here are so integral to my happiness at Suffield, and I want to expand and multiply those connections within all of us. One way I have already been doing this is through MCA, the Multicultural Association. Along with Sophia Kim and Hunter Tran, I was able to resurrect this club. We introduced the idea to serve bubble tea to Mrs. Warren and Mr. Morgan, and Mr. Hennessy, along with the rest of the kitchen staff, was able to get it done. Thank you guys so much again. I remember coming out of class last week and seeing a herd of people with bubble tea surrounding Mrs. Khan, and I was so happy. Something as simple as enjoying bubble tea to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Month as a community, as one, strengthened us. And that was just the start. Next year, I want to hold our first Dorm Wars. Similar to Tiger Wars, this event would be a school-wide competition with physical, maybe mental as well, challenges. It would just be within the dorms. Day students would also have their own dorms, probably broken up by grade and gender. Every dorm would have a color and have their own shirts. I think there is also a possibility of merging this with environmentally conscious dorm challenges that would account for a great deal of points. Dorm Wars would also give us a chance to grow stronger connections with the people in our dorms and the rest of the school. Now, with school dances, I think there are some complaints about the music and the overall coordination of the occasion. You know what? I think the youth is our future. And that is really cheesy, but it's true. I truly believe that student voices are so fundamentally important to the prestige of an institution. So we would have school-wide polls about the songs we want to play, about the location, about the duration, and anything else you have concerns about. Next, I would like to implement trash cans all over campus. Although I condemn littering, I understand the annoyance of carrying trash all over campus. If we got trash cans in the quad, near the academic buildings, and in other places on campus, it would be so simple, but it would have a dramatic effect on the beauty of our school. None of the things I just listed are impossible. They just require someone that's tenacious and prodding, someone that doesn't give up. As Alexander Hamilton said, there's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait, just you wait. Vote for me, Sharon Chidinma Esiam, and you'll see the million things I can do. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly and I'm from South Korea. This is my first year at Suffield Academy and I am currently a sophomore running for the boarding lab. During my boarding stays, I have learned and watched a lot about the boarding community. I have learned that with more positive improvements, the overall boarding experience and convenience can be enhanced for everybody. I was able to adjust at Suffield because the community was very welcoming and open-minded which made me feel like I was home. There are 5 changes I would like to make for this community. First is extending the Wi-Fi time. I will work towards allowing until 12 a.m. on the weekdays and unrestricted Wi-Fi on the weekends. Second is allowing co-ed dorm visits. This involves allowing different genders to visit each other's common room and reintroduce the same gender to visit the dorms. Third is allowing phones during study hall. I will work on making sure that students can get their phone back early if they get their assignments completed and get it confirmed by the dorm parents. Fourth is allowing students to eat food during study hall. This involves ordering food before study hall, but having the opportunity to eat it during study hall. Lastly, a voting system for giving the opportunity for the boarders to choose what they would like to do and increase the weekend activity. Overall, I'm committed, sympathetic, and open-minded person with very strong problem-solving skills. With your votes, I will do everything in my power to bring about the much-needed changes to our boarding community. So please vote for Kelly Kim for your next year's boarding rep.
Hello, Suffield. I'm Stacey and I'm running for boarding representative. We've seen each other around campus. I'm that girl whose smile always shines through the mask. I like being happy, and I want to make sure all of you are happy too. My genius plan is to get you all the things that you want, so you're always happy. And believe me, if I plan to do something, I do it. This winter, my passion for chess got reborn, and I really wanted to play with people. I decided that the best way to achieve it is to create a chess club at Suffield. So I did it with Zeno. Now, this is one of the few new clubs that meets every week. A few months ago, I learned a lot about electricity waste and how easy it is to save electricity. I decided to spread awareness about it, so I hosted an all-dorm competition. Thanks to everybody trying so hard and being very active, we managed to reduce our energy usage and saved $143 in only 1 week. This year I realized 2 things: how many things can be improved about our lives and how much we can achieve if enough effort is put into it. Both the chess club and the competition not only didn't have to happen, but were also hard to organize. Yet I did organize them, and look how fine they've turned out. So, recently my focus has shifted to the lives of boarders. Although things are good, I noticed some things that can be improved, and I decided to do so. One of the policies we can work on is changing study hall hours on Friday evenings from 8 to 10 to 9 to 10. I think that extra hour is a very nice thing to have, because a lot of students have games, and social time is very important. I will work with the administration, just like I've done before, on getting it for all of us. Another thing I want to work on is getting us extended Wi-Fi hours in the dorms. We can express our 404 to the administration and get the hours changed with their help. My priority, though, is to start letting the opposite sex go into the dorms. It might sound impossible to achieve, but if it is to the common rooms only, or for the upperclassmen only, at least something, it is very doable. A lot of other schools are doing it already. I have listened to many students, boarders or not, and I understand how important it is for all of us. There are many things to consider, but I'm willing to work very hard on creating and agreeing with the administration upon the rules and restrictions for it. If we are persuasive and mature enough, we can get it done. I'm not willing to leave these goals unfinished. I'm running for boarding rep because I want to improve boarders' lives. I will listen to you all and push the things we want forward. If you want to support me in achieving those goals and you want to see actual changes made, vote for me. Remember, being decisive will let us achieve what we want. Vote for Stacey, boarding rep. Thank you.
Hello, Suffield. I'm Lauren Burton, and I'm running to be your next student body vice president. I would like everyone to imagine what they want their next year to look like, to feel like, to be like. Whatever you just imagined, I want to be the person to hear you and help you get there. I want to hear the president's voice. I want to hear the student council's voice, but most importantly, I want to hear the voices of the student body. For the past 2 years, I've had the pleasure of being the class of 2022's vice president. My experience working alongside the class president, the class advisors, and the student council has been incredibly exciting and rewarding. And I would love to continue this work, and now represent the whole student body. When making decisions during the school year, whether that be as something as small as a theme for a school dance, or something as big as a permanent school change, I want to give the whole student body a chance to voice their opinion. That could be something as simple as a survey being sent out, or a permanent place on campus for you to put your input. No matter who you are, you should have the chance to speak up on school matters that are important to you, and you should feel like you have leaders that will listen to you. Every student should feel like they're being represented and seen. Our community at Suffield is welcoming to all people, so we should act more that way, and we should not be afraid to show our support for people, even if they're not your friend. You should listen to everyone and give every student a voice, because if not, you might miss out on a great idea that could change the school for the better. Next year, my biggest goal as vice president will be to make everyone feel like Suffield is a place for them to be who they are without judgment and know they're being seen, heard, and represented. I want next year to look like students having fun. Students enjoying themselves at events, bringing back intense school spirit, and finally being able to have the dances we all wanted this year. I want it to feel like students being heard. Students feeling like they're being listened to. Feeling like important school changes are being done, and feeling like this is a safe environment for them to be themselves and have a voice. I want it to be the best year we can make it. Rock on, Suffield Academy, and vote Lauren Burton for Student Body Vice President.
One second. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Aurora Prescott and I'm running for all-school vice president. One of my biggest achievements is that I've attended 7 schools in 5 different states across the country, 4 on the West Coast, 2 in the Midwest, and finally, Suffield. I understand that this doesn't really sound like an achievement, but because I've moved around a lot, in many ways I feel as if I've gained the experience and perspective as a boarder. I've felt the homesickness that every boarder has felt in the beginning of the first few weeks of staying at Suffield. I've longed to see my friends from home and be in the comfort of the place that I have called home for so long. However, I've also experienced the comforts of being at home while attending Suffield. I'm very privileged to be able to stay in my own bedroom and see my animals and be among my own things. But despite all the differences that we experience in lifestyle between boarders and day students, we are all part of the same community. We love the community that Suffield has had to offer and has provided all of these great opportunities for us. However, over the course of the past 2 years, I've noticed a divide. There is a big divide between the day students and the boarders, mostly because of cultural things, but also just well-kept secrets. This past year has been very difficult for all of us, and it's further widened the gap between the 2 groups. For the coming school year, to remind us of what a beautiful and powerful community that we have at Suffield, I aim to hold more dances and school spirit or morale boosters for the community throughout the year to decompress and have some fun. I know that I'm feeling the stress. I bet you are too. I want to bring back the themed dinners, like Mardi Gras and Thanksgiving and Halloween. Those were so fun, and they were a great way to bring us all together under the same roof to enjoy a meal and some fun times. Of course, we would still need to be operating under COVID guidelines if necessary, which hopefully not. I plan to fight for a newer dress code as well. I think that the current one is good, but I don't think it's sensitive enough to the ever-fluctuating changes in style that we experience almost every year. It's a great way for us to express ourselves and who we really are, and I think that we should be allowed to be true to who we are. For the 2021 to 22 school year, I believe that we need a change of pace. We need to kick things into high gear and come up with new creative solutions to the largest issue at hand, COVID. Old issues require new solutions. If the old solutions worked, we would not have the old problem. I cannot promise to make COVID or the remaining after effects go away. Nobody can, and it sucks. However, I am confident that with everybody's help and faith, we can make this 2021 to 2022 school year nearly normal again. I can promise to listen to suggestions with an open mind and without judgment, realistic or not. Under my leadership, I can promise that your opinions will be taken into account. I ask each of you to understand that your vote matters. Your vote can be the difference between victory and defeat, and I aim for nothing short of victory. And with that, I implore each of you to take a risk, to leap out of your comfort zone of the old leadership of which you've become so accustomed. A leadership that promises to fight with its hardest passion for a better school year. A leadership that is creative and wants nothing more than to be your voice and be there for you. And finally, a leadership that understands both sides of the school's struggles, triumphs, needs, and desires. Take a step towards a better school year by voting Aurora Prescott for all-school vice president.
Good afternoon, Suffield. I'm coming to you live from the beautiful 4th floor of Memorial. I hope all of you are doing well, whether you are on campus or joining us virtually. Enjoy your final days of this roller coaster of a year. I would like to bring to your attention that Dan Ennis will no longer be with us. I know, it is very heartbreaking. Don't worry about it, he did not die. He is just leaving as his time at Suffield comes to an end. He did a wonderful job as our student body president. The U.S. made history this year by electing the first female vice president. With such a historic year, anything is possible. This year, we can continue to defy the odds by having the possibility of an all-female student council. A woman's place is in Suffield's student council, and this can only be done with me elected. My name is Giselle Siriaco, and I'm running to become your next student body president. As your only female running for this position today, I ask that you listen closely to each speech and decide which candidate you would like best to represent you for the 2021-2022 school year. For the past 2 years, I have had the pleasure of serving as the class president for the class of 2022. During my time as class president, I have learned much, whether that be in terms of strengthening my leadership skills or learning on how to communicate with my class and peers on what they want. One of the best feelings I got as class president was to see many of my peers come together for one night and sing their lungs out to We Are Young while getting very competitive over a game of Jenga during our karaoke game night. That night taught me so much about my grade and about our school. Although we may be divided within our grade, within our friend group, within our whole school, we can be unified. We can be together. We can be the Suffield community. We have the power to become united, and when we are united, we are unstoppable. From that day forward, my main goal has been to become united. This could be done in many ways, ranging from choosing a charity that really makes us feel the impact we can make, to having whole school events to bring us all together like Tiger Games and Chill on the Hill. A big component to Suffield is the charity we choose every year. I want us to select one that allows us to do hands-on working. I want us to feel the impact we make. Not only will it give us one of the best feelings, but it will help us build up our leadership skills while developing a new perspective on life. I want us to prove the impact we are all capable of making. With choosing a charity come fundraising events. These could be either telethon, raffles, or other events. Color Wars was a great example and a great event that brought many of us together. A new event I would like to do revolves around a dunk tank. You would be able to pay for a chance to dunk one of your favorite teachers while raising money for our cause. Think about it, having the opportunity to have a chance at dunking Mr. Lynch or Miss Lloyd for charity, I would certainly not want to miss that. The charity we choose will bring the Suffield community together, allowing us as a whole to reach the unreachable. As students, we have a lot on our plates. Trust me, I know how chaotic life at Suffield can be. We go from school to afternoon activities to homework with about an hour or two to socialize. Sure, we are all capable of handling this, whether it be in terms of a paper or conflicts within our friend group. I know there are days where we can get through anything. But over a certain amount of time, we all start to break down. That is totally acceptable. We are all human beings. We all have rough days. An important thing we need to focus on is our mental health. I believe that once a month, we should have a day where practices are canceled and we take the day to focus on relaxation and our mental health. You know, we have conversations where someone could be having a bad day and you respond with, haha, same, and the conversation ends there. Well, it shouldn't end there. We can have a masseuse come in, along with an oxygen bar, to relax and give yourself the break you deserve. We can also have a slip and slide or school-wide water balloon fight to cool down and just take a second to enjoy life. This would allow us to de-stress and get back to our best versions of ourselves. School gets tough, and I feel that we should prioritize our mental health because I believe every month is Mental Health Awareness Month. I strongly believe that competition brings people together. That is why I want to start a new tradition. Starting next year, each dorm will compete against each other with day students assigned to a dorm to be part of for a weekend-long competition. The first competition would be coming up with a team cheer, bringing the pride and competitiveness right from the start. I want to see our community come together and compete in an intense game of capture the flag, who can save the most electricity, or getting fired up in a game of Family Feud. The winning team will not only gain bragging rights, but will also receive a prize along with the trophy. The trophy will stay in the dorm for the whole year until the next dorm wars. I am easy to approach. I promise I do not bite. I want you to feel comfortable enough to leave your suggestions and to have a conversation with me on what you want to see become a reality. Let's be real. It will be difficult to make all of your requests come true. But that does not mean I will not listen to you. I will share your thoughts and ideas and work with the student council to make your time at Suffield the best it can possibly be. Again, I am not quite 5'2", but I will represent you. Thank you, and I hope to be your student body president for the upcoming school year.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Suffield. My name is Zeno, and I'm running for president. Usually, a presidential speech would consist of promises on how amazing Color Wars will be, or how telethon will raise the most money for the most noble charity in the world. Unlike any other year in Suffield history, however, one tiny detail made this year somewhat different from all the rest: COVID. I do not want to stray too far from the point of the speech, my plans as president, but it is worth noting that despite its challenges, this year has been exceptionally good. But I plan to make it even better next year, and even better than the year before that. My presidency comes in two parts. The first is related to COVID. I cannot say for sure what COVID policy will look like next year on this campus, but what I will say is that it will always be a priority of mine to steadily return to normal. In fact, many of you have noticed that only this year, I have consistently been making changes and communicating with the administration on COVID-related policy. Through this approach, I, with the collaboration of Stacey and Mr. Booth, was able to remove the door signs. My approach has proven to be incredibly successful, and I plan to continue to work in the future to achieve my goal of a pre-COVID-like campus. The second part of my presidency focuses on the thing that makes Suffield special: community. If I had a nickel for each time I heard that word when applying to and at this school, I could triple the endowment. As I said before, this year has been incredibly difficult, yet Suffield's community remains strongly intact. There is always room for improvement, especially this year, and I am going to bridge that gap. I'll start with returning to the defining Suffield traditions: 10 people per dining hall table, couches in the union, wheels back on the chairs in the union, the snack bar, make your own omelet day on Thursday, chef's table breakfast on Wednesday, round table classrooms, bleachers packed during sporting events supporting our teams, school dances, charity events, telethon. All these things are important to the community and define us, and I am willing to work as much as I need to get them back. We definitely want these old traditions back, but I have plans to introduce new ones. I'd like to kick off the year with a school-wide barbecue, and shortly after, host a debut school dance to celebrate our hopefully much more normal return to campus. Finally, I think a campus-wide scavenger hunt is in order. I know that variations of such a thing have been done before and been wildly successful, so I will be adding my own variation to the mix. That's a little bit of what you can expect from me as president. Suffield, I'm incredibly optimistic about next year. I have shared my plans with you, and I'm committed to making them happen. I ask for one small thing in return from you: a vote. Take care, Suffield.
Hello, Suffield. First of all, I just want to thank everybody who is here today listening to give me the opportunity to be your next president. I'm Max Henderson, and I've lived in the lovely town of Suffield, Connecticut my whole life. My entire life in some way has always revolved around this school, whether it be Kid League lacrosse games on the turf, sledding on Bell Hill, and attending many events in support of my older brothers who went here. My love and appreciation for Suffield Academy started when I was extremely young, and as a junior here, I can say it hasn't faded. This is why I want to give back to the school, be a contributor, a leader, and make a positive change on Suffield Academy's society. As president, I will be a platform for my fellow students to have their concerns acknowledged and help improve Suffield Academy. I'll put effort into everything I do as president. While I can't promise anything crazy like getting rid of detention or dress code, I'll do whatever I can do to make Suffield Academy the best experience for all of you. At the end of the day, I want to do whatever I can do to make Suffield the best place for everybody watching. Not only do I put my maximum effort into all my classes, I'm able to do so after waking up at 5 a.m. to go mountain biking or hike up a mountain and ski back down before sunrise. I'm willing to do the long nights to perfect any school event I'm working on, and I'm eager to wake up early if that means the members of Suffield Academy will be just a bit more happy. As I mentioned earlier, the way I am able to balance all of my hobbies with my workload, I'm extremely confident I'll be able to handle the responsibility of being your school president. If elected for school president, I will be so motivated to welcome back all of our old traditions and create some new ones. I personally can't wait for dances, amazing race, and chill on the hill for next year. This school year with COVID has brought many restrictions that we're all very excited to leave in the past. At the same time, I know many people have enjoyed the free snacks in the dining hall, which is something I would fight to keep, in addition to the reopening of the snack bar. Community is so important to me, and under Henderson presidency, I want to see total unity of all Tigers. I just don't want everybody to be friendly with each other. I want everybody to support and appreciate one another, and be proud that they're all together at this amazing school. To do so, I want more events where different grades will be able to bond with each other and be able to work and compete with one another. I think we can enhance this hope with competitive events, fundraisers, special dinners, and more. My dream is for everybody to be proud to be at Suffield. We're so blessed to have such a beautiful campus, amazing facilities, and most importantly, a great group of people. I want to be able to hear everybody talking about how they love being at Suffield and how they enjoy every moment of it. Most importantly, I want to see everybody motivated to be the best individual they can be and to offer a positive impact on Suffield Academy. When this is achieved, every other aspect of Suffield Academy will improve as well. If everybody is happy and motivated to be better as individuals, this will uplift our community as a whole. And this will make Suffield Academy even stronger as a community that celebrates differences, individual achievements, and unity. We have such a great group of kids here at school, and when we all come together, listen to each other, and care for one another, we can accomplish anything. I think I can help our community achieve this goal by being a role model and leader for our school. I can ensure that you can count on me to be approachable, supportive, and listening to everybody on our campus. As president of Suffield Academy, I will be a voice for all of you. I will do whatever it takes to make our upcoming school year the best for everybody. Your wants and needs are mine. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for listening to the speeches, and congratulations to the candidates for sharing their thoughts and goals and aspirations for next year at Suffield. In a few minutes, you'll be receiving a link from me in your email. Please vote. Voting will be closed tomorrow, May 22nd at noon Eastern Time, and we will release the results no later than Monday morning. So good luck to our candidates. Please vote, and go Tigers. Thanks.